And now, the best and only wrestling podcast produced out of Council Bluffs, Iowa. This is Get Slammed with the Lumberjake, Healy, and the Get Slammed Podcast Champion, Crawdaddy.
Welcome to another episode of Get Slammed. It's episode 5?
Yep.
6? 5?
5.
I'm doing too many podcasts. I don't know which episodes I'm on anymore. I, of course, am one of your hosts, Jake, the Lumberjake Williams.
Crawdaddy here, your Get Slammed Podcast Champion. And that ain't going anywhere.
I don't know, am I a host or am I just a guest or what?
You're a host. You're on the show regularly.
Okay, well, I'm Healy. Of course.
That's such a soft intro. You gotta put more feeling into it.
I know what are feelings.
I don't know what those are. So, I want to talk about this first because I feel like this would be a really funny segment.
Okay.
Great Balls of Fire. I just want to talk about this.
That's all you have to say.
Right away, yeah, because, we'll get to the payback stuff and the predictions and all that. My most concern is who's in charge of naming pay-per-views and why they should be fired.
Big
Why are
T,
they
Kevin Dunn.
God. What did you think when you first saw that? Because
At first, when Healy's the one who posted.
Breaking news,
Yeah.
no one believes me.
Yeah,
I got a Bleacher Report of right 10 minutes before, or you were pretty fast on it, I think, because I got a Bleacher Report update, and then right after I got it.
And like I said, someone accused me of fake news. It was not cool.
Well, I was unsure too. I'm like, is that really true? And then you posted the, get your tickets now for it. And I'm like, holy crap, they really did it.
Yeah.
And it's like...
No, I knew it was real. I believed you, because I saw it, like I said, you posted it right after I saw it.
Nothing is Jerry Lee Lewis, but why use a Jerry Lee Lewis song for the name of a pay-per-view?
Well, it's just a 70-year-old man out of context with 2017 society.
I think it's actually secretly it's a test to see if these guys can really sell this pay-per-view on a name, like the performers. Because it's not going to sound good on TV when it's like, hey man, I'm going to kick your ass, I'm going to take you down at Great Balls of Fire.
It's terrible.
They should have left it Bad Blood. That's what they were going to do.
I mean, I understand they're wrestling pay-per-views, they're going to be cheesy names and, gimmicky names. But Great Balls of Fire, that's the worst.
There's literally nothing like Payback. Okay, you're gonna get your payback. Bad Blood.
I could
it's
name.
like, okay, there's Bad Blood.
Here's a challenge.
Extreme Rules,
Yeah,
every match. Yeah,
it makes
I get
sense.
I don't like that. I don't like the gimmick pay-per-view titles.
Sorry
I don't
for-
like gimmick pay-per-views. They're
Sorry
stupid.
for any PG listeners out there, but are they going to set their balls on fire or something?
I don't know,
and,
maybe.
compete at their balls on.
There's going to be a House of Horrors match.
No, that's a Payback.
I know,
don't
but I can't tell you how dumb of a match that sounds.
So you're
We'll
going to
get
set up
to
a
that when we
fun
talk
house in
about
the
payback.
parking lot?
Yeah, it's so stupid. I hate this stuff. It's especially in PG era. Gimmick matches don't work anymore.
They work
because
when
you
people are
can't.
destroying each other.
There's no blood. There's no. You don't want to.
One thing's for sure, they better use The Rock's version of Great Balls of Fire as their theme song. I don't know if you guys remember him cutting that promo,
Yes, I do.
but yeah, that was hilarious.
It's so stupid. These are times when I try to defend being a wrestling fan and I can't.
It's been hard lately. It really has been.
It's.
I don't know, it's just Vince is off of his nut or what.
I don't know, man. Great Balls of Fire, unbelievable.
Bad Blood just sounds so much badass, and it brings you back to
it makes sense.
the ruthless aggression era.
Yeah, Bad Blood.
Here's a challenge.
Two guys who don't
Here's
like
a
each
challenge. It's a Raw exclusive pay-per-view in July. Come up with a name right now.
Ass trash, like it always is. No, let's see here. Raw exclusive.
In July.
Crawford, Crawdaddy, whatever your name is.
Come back to me. I'm still thinking.
I thought you were gonna say come back. I was like, oh, that's a little.
I'm just trying to prove a point here. It just the first thing that comes to your mind.
Well, we can't really hate on someone for coming up with a crappy name if we can't come up with something better.
No, this is my point. No matter what you say, it's better than Great Balls of Fire.
True.
Why not bring back, old pay-per-view names like Unforgiven or, Judgment Day?
I truly think Vince is trying to move away.
I'm
from
telling
it.
you guys-
He's trying to make this an exclusive now product.
They got what they need to do. Well, this is my always been.
Or it's July. They could bring back the freaking Great American Bash.
Yeah.
Like that was awesome.
No, dude. I've got a plan. If I were running a wrestling promotion, I'd have a big summer show like WWE, but not in August.
SummerSlam.
It would be in July, and I would call it Independence Slam, because it's going to be around the 4th of July. That's a better name.
It makes sense.
Independence Slam. That was my backyard wrestling days. When I was a promoter then.
Well,
And I was 12 years old.
You talk about that a lot.
What do you mean? What have I missed?
It was after the show, when we did the WrestleMania thing, I explained to Crawford that I used to be a backyard wrestler.
Oh, good
And
God.
it was like on a trampoline. It wasn't good.
Okay.
And I changed my gimmick like every couple months, as you know they do on TV. I was the richest man in wrestling at one time because we did a whole like Ted DiBiase storyline where I couldn't win the WWE Championship, so I made one. And said I was the richest man, so I totally ripped off that. That's a whole other episode. I'll gladly do like a Patreon exclusive EWE reunion with all the guys.
That's still coming.
WWE.
We'll have details on that soon. But one more thing I want to get in before this. I mean, it seems like Raw is getting the Raw end of the pay-per-view spectrum because SmackDown's getting all the best pay-per-views. I mean, you look at it, SmackDown, they get Money in the Bank this year. They get Extreme Rules.
I still think they're
no, they don't get Extreme Rules, but they get TLC.
I still think they're gonna have a way for Raw to have a Money in the Bank.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Because I love using that gimmick. So I mean,
Maybe it'll be Great Balls of Fire. They gotta grab two giant pair of balls hanging from the ceiling.
it's just so stupid. So stupid.
Well, let's see.
My 12-year-old brain came up with a better title with Independence Slam.
Well, this is what they got coming up. Payback, obviously, tomorrow. Then we got TakeOver Chicago, May 20th. Backlash, May 21st, which, by the way, we might still think about going to.
I'm still thinking. I got a lot going on, but I'll try.
Okay, Extreme Rules is a Raw pay-per-view. Then Money in the Bank is a SmackDown pay-per-view. That's in St. Louis. Should be another good.
7-hour drive, no thank you. Just like Chicago.
Fair enough. Great Balls of Fire, July 9th, Raw pay-per-view. And then Battleground is going to SmackDown. Get your hands off of my title.
Wait a minute, Money in the Bank. That might be worth the 7-hour drive.
I know.
Money in the Money in the Bank isn't a bad. When is that?
That is on
July?
June 18th.
I think that's better.
Never mind.
That would work out better for me. Because
Wait.
it's an extra month.
Oh, that's a Sunday. What am I thinking? I have Sundays off now.
You'd have to get the Monday off.
I have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off.
Oh,
and that makes
it's
me
perfect for any wrestling fan, yeah.
That makes me wonder if they're gonna have Raw in St. Louis that week too, and SmackDown maybe.
This belt's nice, but it is heavy.
Yeah, and your hands need to get off of that.
Oh, it's so precious.
You haven't won anything yet, Lumberjake.
False. He technically has. I'm really the only one who hasn't won anything.
Well, you lost it.
You want to say I want a technicality, but just go on with the podcast. I don't want to try to put this thing on.
He's becoming the Jinder Mahal of Get Slammed.
Okay, so I'm back.
All right, so
I'll just say Money in the Bank. I'd probably go to that instead of Backlash because that big. I haven't actually seen a ladder match in person. I've seen a steel cage.
Neither, but yeah, I've seen Steel Cage too.
I have not.
Judgment Day.
You've not seen a steel cage match?
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's whatever.
Well, okay, so let's get into WWE Payback predictions. This is.
I saw a Hell in a Cell too at WrestleMania.
Oh, I wish I could. Yeah.
Well, see, that's different.
Yeah, I've been to a Mania, so.
I have not. I've been to Raw and SmackDown.
Wait, then you've seen the ladder match, the Intercontinental ladder match.
You're right. I remember that now. I tried to blank that last year's WrestleMania from my memory.
All right, well, let's get on the Payback predictions. This is for the Get Slammed Podcast Champion. Sorry, I'm still
Champion can't even say what we do.
So let's try that again, Sean. Take two.
All right, this is for the Get Slammed Podcast Championship Payback predictions, starting with the pre-show: Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Ely, who do you got, and why do you have them?
So what are the stakes? Is there like any kind of
Not that
number one contendership or anything like that?
No, it doesn't say. It just says tag team match.
I feel like this match was they kind of set something up with Raw because Enzo went out. So I feel like is he coming back or like because on Monday he was like taken out. Was that just so Finn Balor could get into something?
I think so.
Good God.
So they could find something.
This company. Okay. Am I first?
Yep.
I feel like maybe they were dropping a hint with Enzo, so Enzo Amore and Big Cass, I'm just going to go with them. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson haven't done anything after they dropped the title at Mania.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'll go with Enzo and Cass as well. I mean, this. I think they're just trying to give Enzo and Cass something to build toward, maybe challenging for the titles again. I don't know. I feel like the Hardys, as cool as that whole moment was for them to be at WrestleMania, I think that last-minute decision to throw them in that match really kind of screwed up the storylines for the other tag teams. Because now you have Enzo and Cass and Carlson and
Gallows and Anderson.
God. I shouldn't drink before these things, baby. One beer, I'm done. No, I think that feud was supposed to have the belts on it, have something with the titles, and then last minute they went with the Hardys. I don't know. I don't care, so I'm gonna have to go with Enzo and Cass though.
I'm actually gonna go with Gallows and Anderson. They need it more, and
they need it more.
I think they do, because I mean, I honestly think Cass and Amore are gonna freaking, be over no matter what. Gallows and Anderson, they haven't really been relevant, so this could be something, maybe get them back in the title picture. I know they're the ones that just dropped the belt, but I think they need this more.
I just realized the teeth on your shirt say Balor.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
I've been behind a bit. Yeah. Well, I know that. I just thought it was his logo, but it really says Balor with a T. Yep. Sorry, go on.
Good job, merch team.
Right. All right. So next we'll go into the Cruiserweight Championship. Neville versus Austin Aries.
Austin Aries.
I got Austin Aries too.
Yeah, Austin Aries. I think they've Neville's run his good course. He's been a good champion, but I think I think it's Austin Aries' turn.
All right. Next match we'll do Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho for the United States Championship. Whoever wins goes to SmackDown. Who do you? I mean, I think this one's also self-explanatory.
Yeah, it's Jericho.
What?
I'm kidding, it's Kevin Owens.
Okay. I was about to say, it's Kevin Owens because Jericho has, last scheduled day is May 1st, which is the Raw after Payback.
Correct.
So, it's Kevin Owens. All right, so Seth Rollins versus Samoa Joe. Who do you have, Healy?
Samoa Joe.
Seth Rollins.
Samoa Joe.
Yeah, I think they're trying to.
He needs. We need a big heel, and what better way to bring up that heel than by making Samoa Joe look strong.
Well, and they've been building him up so high or so hard. I don't see why they wouldn't just have him beat Seth Rollins.
Yeah. All right.
It's actually going to be Rollins and Samoa Joe. That's going to actually be the feud of the summer. They're going to keep it going. So, Samoa Joe wins the first one. They do the Even Stevens booking. No. I didn't do... Well, I guess I didn't do my math right. Because my idea was to blow off all the way at SummerSlam. No, I'm kidding. But I do think it's going to be 3 pay-per-views. I think Rollins wins this one. Samoa Joe wins the next one, and then Rollins wins the third.
I'm gonna remember that for if you try to switch it up next pay-per-views, just so you know.
No, there you go. I'm giving you 3 pay-per-views right there.
Randy.
And I'm gonna laugh so hard when it happens. I'll be like, I told you.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm making sense. No. All right. So yeah, Rollins.
Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt in the House of Horrors match. Not for some reason, not for the WWE Championship like we thought it was gonna be.
Well, I mean, it would be a dead given because they moved Bray Wyatt to Raw.
Yeah.
They would be a
so
dead
it
giveaway.
would obviously...
Dead giveaway.
Randy Orton.
I have Bray Wyatt.
Actually, I think I'm going to go with Bray Wyatt as well.
If it's not for the championship, I think that this Bray Wyatt.
They're going to want to keep Orton. They're going to want the SmackDown champion to still look strong for his rivalry with Jinder, though.
I think he's
going to have Randy Orton
either way.
Yeah, yes and no, but it's more of a thing of it's going to be more on how do I say this? I'm trying to figure out a way to. Orton has to just continually be strong to help the Jinder match because even though Jinder has a lot of heat, I don't think people necessarily think he can hang with Randy in the ring. That's probably the most. That's the way I see it anyway. So I think you got to keep him strong and beat Wyatt. Mm-hmm. Mostly because who cares? Like Bray Wyatt is a character that they have lose when he shouldn't, win when he should. I don't know. They don't book him properly. So I'm gonna go with Randy Orton.
All right. So the next.
He shouldn't have lost at Mania, but.
Yeah, he should have lost at Mania, but beside the point. the Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff, or Broken Matt and Brother Nero, versus Cesaro and Sheamus for the WWE Raw Tag Team Championship.
These past few Raws, both the Hardys respectively beat whatever Cesaro and then Sheamus on Monday Night Raw. I'm just gonna say Matt and Jeff. I feel like they're building them up so hard in the tag team division to be the team of the tag team division.
Excuse me. I would agree. Hardys.
I disagree. I think it's going to go to Cesaro and Sheamus. Here's the reason why. WWE has been known for 50-50 booking, and if the Hardys won the last couple ones, then I think it's going to be Cesaro and Sheamus. Not to mention, with WWE, paying Impact Wrestling one lump sum, at least that's what's been reported with that broken gimmick. This is the perfect opportunity for them to split up the Hardys and make Broken Matt and Jeff Hardy, the charismatic enigma that he was. So that's honestly what I think is going to happen. They're going to drop the titles to Cesaro and Sheamus.
I don't agree with that at all, but mostly because I agree with him.
Yeah, those two have been pushed to the moon since they came back at WrestleMania.
But that's the beauty of this. We could be completely off, and the dirt sheets could be right, but I don't trust them. Mm-hmm. Next one.
Bayley versus Alexa Bliss for the WWE Raw Women's Championship.
Alexa Bliss.
Is this just because she's your crush?
She's my girlfriend.
Bayley.
And I would want to say Bayley, but I feel like I'm pretty sure you mentioned it last week. They're just flipping the roles of Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. But she's going to be the dominant heel. I've been seeing people are very angry with the way Bayley is on the main roster.
I think we'll get to this later, but I honestly think what they're doing with Charlotte on SmackDown is a lot smarter. I think they're about to turn her face and have her and Naomi team up against the rest of the SmackDown division. If you've kind of seen how that.
Actually, I haven't really paid attention to the division in SmackDown.
But we'll talk about that later. But you had Bayley, I had Bayley as well. I think they need to keep the championship on one person to prove that they're not actually just playing hot potato anymore.
And that way you can still keep the you can still hold some prestige to the women's championship
which it deserves
of the hot potato stuff they've been doing. Plus
I still want to see a Sasha Banks and Bayley feud because that was the best.
Yeah, I think that's what they're setting up, and I don't know what they're going to do with Alexa, but
honestly,
I just imagine Bayley is the heel this time.
I can't.
Bayley can't be. That's her problem.
Bayley is the woman jumps.
Well, of course, but even then, now they have her so watered down and boring. In NXT, when she was her,
hey, she's still my crush.
I get it, but in NXT, when she was her, it was actually you actually cared that she was making but when she's got to read off the scripted garbage about this is my dream, it's terrible. But when they literally say it and mean it like she did in NXT, I cared about her, but I couldn't give two craps about her when she's on the main roster because it's all just.
So I have a feeling this isn't more just about you actually want this belt to go on to Alexa, don't you? You want her to be the first champion to hold the both the Raw and SmackDown.
Well, she deserves it at this point. She's my girlfriend.
I was gonna let you go, man.
Alright, so I really hope that Bayley versus Alexa is the main event because they've done that.
Highly doubt it.
No,
not on the card.
Not in a pay-per-view.
But the main event that's probably going to take place, Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman.
Braun! Also, I want to point out that it's silly to me that the champion is not in the not in the first pay-per-view after WrestleMania for Raw.
Oh yeah, it's dumb, but he'll be at the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view.
He sure will.
Which will be 98 days. By that time, it would have been 98 days as champion, and he's had maybe he'll have 2 or 3, maybe 4 if we're lucky appearances before that pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. It's stupid. And again, that I don't understand that kind of booking because now it diminishes the Universal Championship. Nobody's going to care about it.
It's the fact that why would you put it on someone who just obviously doesn't care? Like he just wants to be. I'm the champion. I'm Brock Lesnar, and then he doesn't do anything. Like he clearly doesn't care.
And the big problem is, especially now, it is so hard to get people's attention nowadays, and it's so hard to get people to stay invested in things. So why would you do that with your main belt on your bigger show? It just...
Or at least the show you want to be bigger.
Right, well, I mean, it's the 3 hours and it's on Monday, whatever.
Exactly.
It's stupid.
Brock Lesnar, it just seems like I'm the champion, and doesn't do anything. He just likes to say I'm the champion.
Just like when he was WWE champion.
Like I know, I don't like him. He can go away now.
I mean, if you were to show up every week and actually have a match on Raw,
then I'd care.
Yeah.
And instead of coming, and even if he showed up and not really,
he's been on the main roster now for 5 years, and he hasn't had one match on Raw.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all been pay-per-views, but anyway.
I would fight Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
Are you sure about that? Just because he doesn't wrestle doesn't mean that he's still a freaking kick. He's still a freaking ass kicker.
I would fight Brock Lesnar.
Feel sorry for you, man. If he ever listens to this.
No, okay, yeah, I'm sure he does.
All right.
Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman. Jake, who do you have and why?
I'm gonna say I'm kind of in a hard place because clearly WWE is just really rock hard for both these guys, and because they've been doing so much to try to make me give a shit about Braun Strowman, it's not really working.
By destroying 4 defenseless luchadors in garbage cans.
It's working though because a lot of people really, and again, I didn't watch his match with Big Show a couple weeks ago. People said it was a solid match, whatever, but I just still don't care about either of these two.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a pay-per-view after WrestleMania, after he beat Undertaker, retired Undertaker, I'm going to say Roman Reigns.
I'm going to say Roman Reigns too.
Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
I can't
see how. Do you realize how fucking dreary that got when I said Roman Reigns?
Yeah.
Everybody's just like Roman Reigns.
Because it hurts my heart to even say his name, that he's going to win a match against someone I'm actually caring about. I'm like, Jake.
Well, that's.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I just never. Maybe it is the whole. Somebody said to me, my cousin Steve told me, he's like, it's maybe because you're just used to rooting for the smaller guys and rooting for guys like Daniel Bryan and CM Punk to make it, and you had like this anti-big guy rhetoric. Well, it's true.
To quote,
a lot of times they don't do good. They are trying to do something with Braun Strowman. I will say that, but most of the time it's just the same regurgitated monster stuff.
Well, to quote, the funniest guy on the What Culture YouTube page, Vince McMahon likes big sweaty men.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
Have you been hearing that? Of course, this is a dirt sheet. Take it with a grain of salt. But that Vince McMahon is what was the word used? He's over. He's like just absolutely done with Kevin Owens being his body weight that he is, and that's why he's been wearing suits because it hides it, and that he needs it. Like he's been requesting him to go to the gym and stuff, and that apparently Vince has the idea to possibly make him wrestle in a suit. So I don't know how true that dirt sheet is, and that was a very interesting read.
Oh God, tell me.
I kind of want to see it.
Yeah. So
that's the beauty of Vince McMahon. He can sell me on really stupid shit.
Mm-hmm.
Except for Great Balls of Fire, he can't win me over with that.
It's like that.
He better be
posted.
Yeah, the Daily Show.
They better be ready to blow our minds with this pay-per-view if they want something with that name to come back every year.
Okay. Well, this isn't going to be a part of predictions, but on a scale of 1 to 5, how do you think this pay-per-view is going to rate?
Average, 2 at most, 2 at best.
I'd say about a 3.
It's another filler pay-per-view.
I'm going to say 2.
Which is unfortunate because it should be a very. This is my problem with the Superstars shakeup the way it happened. It completely. I understand they're like, we got to get people interested again because a lot of people come in during WrestleMania season, watch WrestleMania, maybe watch the Raw and SmackDown afterwards, and then they're done. They're like, I don't care. Because that's the kind of guy I was for a while. I'd come in around that time because that's when the stuff was most interesting to me, and then leave. Mm-hmm. And so I guess they're like, we got to retain people, we got to keep them coming back. So they're like, we got to trade people off, but still derail our storylines.
Look at this. They only have, 3 people that were affected by the Superstar shakeup, and 2 of them are in technically a SmackDown match.
Yeah, and that on top of that, they're not
on a Raw pay-per-view.
Their top 2 titles aren't being defended in this pay-per-view, so it just
neither world title is up for grabs.
They don't even have the Intercontinental Championship in this.
Yeah, it's a complete.
That's because they don't care about that belt.
Well, no, I'm just saying, they could have had a great match between The Miz and Dean Ambrose. I know it's been seen before, but those competitors do know how to put on a decent match.
It's just another filler pay-per-view is all.
But I did read here that The Miz will be hosting Miz TV with special guest Finn Balor.
In the pre-show.
So.
Of a pay-per-view?
Yeah. So Finn Balor.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I'm guessing they're going to start.
No, it's not the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Gaze all the fires, but still.
Finn Balor has not been in a pay-per-view match since SummerSlam. You know how sad that is, especially.
Well, he has been injured.
Yeah.
But still, he was cleared before WrestleMania. They could have easily put him in some kind of match at WrestleMania. But they didn't do that, and now they're not putting him in Payback.
I feel like they're going to set up a feud with this. They're going to have Miz talking to him, and someone's going to come out, and then they're going to go from there. Even though no one watches the pre-show.
Nobody cares.
Okay, I got it.
Gosh, that's so
a fatal. Okay, I'm calling it now. I'm not going to use this as any stake or anything.
No, you have to.
No. Great Balls of Fire, a fatal 4-way for the Intercontinental Championship. It's going to be Bray Wyatt versus The Miz versus Dean Ambrose versus Finn Balor. How awesome would that be?
I could get into that.
No, that would not happen because
that
would require WWE to care about the belt.
Well, you got to think though. There's kind of been the seeds planted for Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt, and there's also still a feud between The Miz and Dean Ambrose.
Dirt sheet says they're abandoning both of those, by the way.
What?
that they're abandoning both of those feuds. So
don't
obviously
trust
take it with a grain of salt. I don't.
Yeah.
It's interesting that why WWE gets this in their head, tricks their fans, and says, "Oh, never mind, we're bored."
It's because they're like, "Oh well, this guy has this demon gimmick. This guy has this scary, creepy Southern pasture style character. So let's put them together because money." It's like.
Well, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing that. I think that'd put on a good match. I
God,
think Finn Balor would be carrying.
That would not be a good match. If you want to see Finn Balor bump his ass off, sure, watch that. But Bray Wyatt is not that great of a performer in the ring. He should just... This is the problem. They can't make a decision with the Wyatt family, and for whatever reason, it gets stale because... why? Why is that...
The Wyatt family's kind of dead at this point. I mean...
Well, that's what I'm saying. Why do they have it every couple of months? Have some guys. Oh, look at this heel character we have. Split off now. Go on your own, and then that's not working out. Let's go be in the Wyatt family again.
Yeah,
that's not working out. Let's split them up again.
I kind of felt bad for Luke Harper because he gained some traction there going towards WrestleMania.
Luke Harper is such a better performer than Bray Wyatt.
On so many levels. I couldn't believe how involved invested I was in Luke Harper when he broke away and was in the main events of SmackDown and whatnot. I was so invested in him, and I didn't believe I could possibly do it.
And Bray I think works perfectly as a manager character. He works perfectly as a Paul Heyman kind of guy, where he.
It was cool seeing his WWE champion though.
It was nice to see him finally get the big belt, but I think he's so good at what he does. With the mic that he could be a Paul Heyman where he could sell matches that way for the Wyatt family, but whatever.
Now the Wyatt family's completely busted up. There's no, I don't see him and Braun Strowman, doing anything again, and then Luke Harper and Eric Rowan are on SmackDown. So
yep.
Also, can we address what WWE has to do with every single wrestler in their roster, and I'm kind of getting sick of it. Is
50-50 booking?
No, not that. It's we have to manufacture a fucking bullshit nickname for them. Whether it's Seth Rollins is the man, or the Kingslayer, or
Shinsuke
the Demon King with Balor is fine because he's always had that. That's fine. I'm not upset about that. I'm upset when the monster among men, and they're always bad. They're never good. Stop manufacturing those catchphrases.
The artist Shinsuke Nakamura, however people say it, I don't care. He's still my favorite because there's so many.
It's always the something, and I'm like, stop.
The artist known as Shinsuke Nakamura. No,
it's Triple H's fault.
Nakamura.
Because Triple H was running around calling himself Cerebral Assassin, King of Kings.
They were badass. Those were badass nicknames.
Those aren't bad, no, but just because he did it,
Nakamura.
just because he did it doesn't mean everybody needs to do it.
And
the Brahma Bull, Texas Rattlesnake, whatever, those are fine, but you don't need to do it for every single wrestler.
Well, and especially when they come up with their own, like, and it fits the gimmick perfectly. Like, the artist known as Shinsuke, like, that doesn't really fit a gimmick. Like, it's not really his gimmick. Like, in the perfect
like
10.
a Prince thing on him.
Yeah,
the artist.
No, that's the thing. They call him like the Michael Jackson, but they're confusing Michael Jackson with Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, like the perfect 10, Ty Dillinger, that fits because that is him. That is him. He is the perfect 10, Ty Dillinger.
I don't like the architect. I don't like the
no, because it doesn't really like what is the
architect of the Shield's destruction. I was like, okay, that was fine like 3 years ago when you broke them up. Why is it still?
So now I guess it's gonna be Kingslayer for a while because he took down Triple H.
I'm just saying that WWE has got to do something with their booking and their choice of titles, and stop putting the on everybody because it's just silly and frustrating, and I hate it. Especially Monster Among Men. I can't get behind Strowman. What do you like about Strowman? Try to sell me on Braun Strowman.
To be honest, it's just the fact that it's been a while since we've seen a big guy who is truly destructive.
I can agree with that.
Like, he is, like, they are booking him to just destroy everyone and be somewhat interesting while doing it. He's been doing it in different ways.
Flipping over ambulances.
Yeah, like, granted, it's silly, but that's WWE. I want to see a guy who's humongous, and they want to make him seem like this big deal. They can flip a gosh darn ambulance with a guy he hates in it.
I didn't like the dumpster one, though.
No,
the stuff with Roman Reigns, I thought was good storytelling, and it was good to build up him as a monster heel. I don't disagree with that. Like I said, WWE has done a lot to try and make me care about it.
And he's just a true big guy who he doesn't get his way and he gets mad and he takes care of it.
The dumpster bit though, maybe like I've seen it.
Yeah, and it was kind of silly. I was there. It was kind of cool since I was in the arena and got to see that. Yeah. But at the same time, it was still like if I was watching it on TV, it'd be like okay.
Did you see WWE memes? It was like Kane did it better. And they showed them Kane pushed off Zack Ryder.
Yes.
WWE memes. They're my favorite.
Yeah.
That's how bad Payback is because we're only half hour in. To this podcast, if it were a good pay-per-view, we'd be talking about it for quite a bit.
Yeah, like we've said all we need to say.
We have. I've gone on a rant about nicknames. That's how bad Payback is. And I don't care. And that's the most unfortunate thing about it. The Universal title should be on the line because it is the first pay-per-view since WrestleMania. At least get him for that. They couldn't book him for that, one extra pay-per-view, and then say, go off into the sunset until July, and then SummerSlam. And that's the way to justify it, too. It's like, well, you got Brock Lesnar in July and August with SummerSlam and, because, that's going to be it.
Who do you think he's going to drop that title to when it comes time to, though?
That's the thing, too. Is anybody talking about the Universal Championship on Raw at all? No. Is there any trying to movements to get a first or get a number one contender?
That there are no superstars who say, "Hey, there's a guy who has our title. I want it. Come fight me." It makes no sense. If they wanted to make it real, like WWE doesn't think.
They don't have. This is the problem. They don't have a loud enough mouthpiece. They don't have a CM Punk. They don't have a Daniel Bryan right now that says, "Hey, this isn't working well. Hey, we can get behind this guy and we can take him to the next level." Like, it took so long, but it finally worked. We got guys like Daniel Bryan and CM Punk to do that, but we don't have that anymore.
Is it bad to say that the closest they probably have right now to a guy who comes out and forces and says, "I want this, I'm going to do this," is The Miz? Because he comes out on Raw and he's like, "I am going to take that."
And that's the problem. He's going to stay in the middle card, and he'll be a great part of the middle card, but that's it. Which is why I still need to make my video on the super elaborate way I'm going to get him the Universal Championship.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, too. It's an amazing world we live in where I actually root for The Miz and want The Miz to be a champion and want him to be the face of Raw.
Getting on to another topic.
What does that say about your talent pool? Not that it's bad, it's just you guys, they clearly just don't know how to build them.
Yeah, and I think The Miz could be a great main eventer. I think he could be the next, big, top heel, but
even though they've already tried it.
And even though they put him in.
But it's different now.
Yeah, it's different now. I mean, back in 2011, it was crap.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't watching then, I will say. But I have gone back, watched that WrestleMania. I didn't really understand why, like...
WrestleMania 27 was bad.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard.
But getting on to a new topic, how do you guys think they're going to introduce the broken gimmick to the WWE? Matt Hardy broken gimmick.
That's a good question, because I truly don't think that they have anything for that right now. I will say...
I do. I mean, he's been hinting it on Twitter. He's been showing more of his mannerisms on WWE TV.
Yes, and I have noticed that. In Kansas City, he was doing a lot of his mannerisms while... I don't know if it was during the commercial break after they won, but he got up there and he did delete over and over again.
Instead of just once.
Instead of just once. He did it over and over again. And I will say, I think they're going to bring it... I don't think they're going to fully bring it down. I think that's them letting him be a little more creative because he's a veteran of the business, and are letting him be a little more free and act on that just a little bit more. But I think they're just letting Matt Hardy do what he wants because he's a vet. Like it seems if when you've got... I won't say it. When you've been in the business as long as they have, it seems like a lot of those guys are able to be just a little bit more free with what they do out there than most of the newer talent, if you want to call them that.
Well, that's a possibility. Jake, what do you think?
Personally, I don't know.
I just love their theme song.
I don't know. You can't not like Loaded.
It's so hard to... It's so hard to, sorry, I couldn't call. I'm trying to ignore it. It's hard for me to think that they won't do it. I don't know. Like you said, it's just such a hard idea to do because they've been trying to wait it out. So they've just been doing the Team Extreme stuff.
Yep.
I don't think they should split them up. And because everybody thinks that they're splitting him up that way, they can do the broken gimmick. But why? Why would he be broken after that? I just don't know.
I don't know. Maybe just drop.
What caused it in TNA? Can you refresh my memory? What was the thing in Impact that made him become the broken character? Didn't he lose the title? Or
yeah,
something?
and like Jeff Hardy, attacked him and whatnot. Yeah, that happened. It was something like that. I don't think they should do another, another Jeff versus Matt, because that's kind of been, done into the ground, or kind of pushed into the ground. But yeah, I mean, I was pulling up his Twitter here, and here in the hints that he's been dropping. The celestial voices have started coming to me again, and. And it shows him posing, like he poses as Broken Man. And then later, he also posted, this one was just a couple days ago, let's see.
And I have noticed, so it kind of takes, it's kind of going off the beaten path a little bit, but the characters who are strictly themselves on social media, on WWE TV, are the more interesting ones. Mm-hmm. Kevin Owens, he's a total douche on Twitter. He's sticking to his character, and he's one of the more interesting guys. Dean Ambrose doesn't have social media. He's not on there being someone else than he is on WWE TV, so he's somewhat interesting.
He has social media, but he never uses it.
He doesn't touch it. I've never once seen him do anything. Alexa Bliss, in a way, Alexa Bliss she's on and off. She doesn't act like a total B-word on social media, and then she does. And it seems more on Twitter. She acts more her character than she does on Instagram and other stuff. I sound like a 16-year-old girl.
Well, no, man. Like the Instagram,
Instagram,
that's where
more themselves.
That's where WWE lets the girls be girls, is on Instagram.
I have noticed, yes.
Matt Hardy, though, he also said, the celestial voices have told me the genesis of my modern testament nears. My vessel will be blessed if I push to the unseen perimeters.
Goodness.
Or parameters. Parameters, yeah. I'm sorry, that's a bad, imitation of him, but I really do think that they are planning something. I don't know if it'll be Payback. I don't even know if it'll be the Raw after Payback, but it's gonna happen.
Highly doubt it'll be. I feel like they're gonna wait for. Actually, no, they've been doing some big things in the most unnecessary.
There's been talks of them doing another draft this year.
Oh goodness!
But this one being like a traditional draft, it won't be actual trades. It'll be actual traditional. And maybe that could be, a way to go to get one of them to go to SmackDown. And then they don't have to do a freaking Hardy breakup storyline again.
I don't know, man. It's hard for me to think of a good angle to go with to make him broken. Other than Matt betrays him, which would be exactly what happened in TNA, but that's honestly the only thing that could work would be splitting them up. As stupid as that would be to me, but
I mean, unless they want to bring out Brother Nero too, but honestly.
But again, how do you explain that?
Yeah, it is
to fans that don't know.
It is going to be really hard to kind of explain, the broken gimmick when it came from a different promotion. But
yeah,
I mean,
especially when a majority of fan base just ignores Impact altogether.
Well, I mean, at WrestleMania there were quite a bit of delete chants.
That's because of the internet. Like, if it wasn't all over Twitter and that being shared all over Twitter that way, because that's the only way I knew about it, was people were talking about it, and then it just got shared and retweeted and all over the place in social media, so that's how I found out about it or knew about it. Still didn't make me watch TNA.
No.
Nope.
That's what I'm saying, so I still think those chants were because of Twitter.
I didn't watch TNA, I just went onto YouTube and watched the Hardy segments, which I thought were
so incredibly awful.
No,
they were so good.
At first they were incredibly awful, but then they got better. I mean, like that first segment they did with the contract signing, with...
God, it was so stupid. It was so bad.
Great.
With the clearly fake baby that he threw at him.
I even did a couple parody videos of this, of Matt Hardy playing piano. It was great. Brother Nero, I knew you'd come.
Vanguard 1.
I really hope they bring out Vanguard 1 and Senior Avengement in WWE.
Just have a random drone following him.
Yeah.
It's just, they're so bad. I can't even explain how I feel about this whole broken gimmick. That's how weird it is.
That's what I like about it. It's weird. It's something different.
Yeah.
Not the same cookie.
His character was stale, so he created something new.
Yeah.
Which is cool, but again, it's going to be very hard to get that because of how they had to... Well, we wanted to have him in the WWE now, so we had to just make him Team Extreme, and then hopefully eventually we can get the settlement. But yeah, WWE, man, caused me a lot of anger.
Well, I'd like to...
By the way, did you guys think of a July pay-per-view title yet?
I had one.
What was it?
Ass Trash.
That's terrible. That's worse than Great... You know what? It is worse than Great Balls.
That's the whole point.
Ass Trash.
I was thinking something summer, July themed. I mean, obviously not SummerSlam, but July. It's right near Independence Day. I don't understand why they don't...
Just Great American Bash.
The Independence Beatdown.
I'm telling you, Independence Slam.
But even, I don't see why they don't mark it off of the 4th of July. It's America. We love fireworks.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe that's where they came with Great Balls of Fire, like fireworks or something.
There's nothing more American than watching pro wrestling
exactly
on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Even though it's like
a week after.
That's not the point. I'm always in a patriotic mood for the whole month of July. Don't know what character I'm doing right now, but this is what you do to me, WWE. Broken Lumberjake, that's going to be my new character.
Well, I'd like to send a little shout out and thank you to A&J's Belts. They have given us the opportunity to promote a little bit on their page. And right now, we will be announcing tomorrow a winner to somebody who has liked our page will get a free spot in one of their raffles to win a replica championship belt. So I'd like to thank AJS Belts for that, and thanks John Barbosa and for that opportunity. And I have won 2 of my 3 belts from his raffles, including the WWE Spinner Belt and the WWE Intercontinental.
I have some choice words for that belt in my video I'll be posting later on YouTube, by the way.
What, the Spinner one?
Yeah, just letting you guys know. The true Healy comes out in that video.
Weren't you a fan of that belt?
Oh my good
God. I told you, I have some choice words. Watch the video.
Guys, before we close, I just remembered. What do you guys think of the Vince McMahon movie?
I've heard about it.
I would be more excited to see it if it didn't have Vince McMahon's blessing. Because with that, that means that they're gonna make him look. They're not gonna
make him look good.
Yeah, they're not
That's
going to
my
show
issue
any
with
of his mistakes or anything, or at least his mistakes.
XFL.
Yeah, or any of his mistakes that he wants buried. He can tell them, hey, don't
Roman Reigns.
Yeah, or don't mention the steroid. I know they're going to have to do something with the steroid trial, but
Yeah.
but they're going to make it look like he was completely.
They've already
innocent.
kind of done the XFL thing.
I'll be interested to see a movie about pro wrestling in the mainstream.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to see that anyways.
They the only thing is they should be calling this the McMovie.
Who's going to be playing McMahon? Does anybody know? Is he going to
No
be playing
idea
himself
yet.
as like a 40-year-old guy?
I wouldn't be surprised.
No idea.
All right, that's been another episode of Get Slammed.
I can't believe we're wrapping this up 15 minutes early.
Nothing else to talk about.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you so much for A&J's Belts for giving us the opportunity to promote on their page. If you're listening to this before Sunday at Payback, if you still haven't liked our page or joined the A&J's Belts group, please do both because you might have a chance to win a free raffle spot, which could also lead you to a championship replica belt.
Please check out our YouTube where you'll see my fantastic promos I cut on these two losers every time there's a pay-per-view.
No, you
Never
can,
helps you sleep at night, dude.
you can look at
No,
my videos where I'm kicking the crap out of both you guys on the promos.
Not even possible.
I don't need to cut a promo.
I've noticed
just
that.
that
I
good.
have some choice words for that in my promo as well. My promos are incredible. That's all there is to it.
Okay, whatever you say, bro.
No one
You
believes
can
me.
follow us on Twitter at GetSlammedPod. You can also like the page Get Slammed Wrestling on Facebook. And is there any, we have
SoundCloud.
episodes up on SoundCloud.
Yep.
I personally am working on building a website for all the podcasts. All the podcasts.
Go
Every
ahead and
single
shill your other podcasts too.
No, I'm just saying. So keep an eye out for that. So the episodes will actually be on that website when it's up and running. We're working on a Patreon that hasn't launched yet. Is there any other housekeeping we have before this episode's over?
Tomorrow we will be watching Payback. I haven't decided yet whether or not it's going to be a live stream or not. The last live stream we did was upwards of 6 hours, but I know Payback is only going to be about 3, so we might do that. Either way, we will be watching Payback, and you'll be watching me walk out with this beautiful big gold belt as I walked in with it.
Just wait.
Jake, any words for that?
I don't need to say anything.
That's what he says, but just wait.
Yeah.
I tell the truth. That's all. That's all.
You don't tell the truth.
Well,
Didn't you say you're gonna sexually assault me, pretty much?
No. When did I ever?
You said something about me being on my knees. That's all I remember, and something like that. So you're
that was-
profane, sir.
No, that was just I'm just good with words. That's all there is to it. Good
He
with
verbally assaulted me, but they were sexual acts. I'm kidding. I'm gonna end this now. Feel free to cut this out at the end, Sean.
no, I'm not. It's going in the end.
Okay. I am Jake, the Lumberjake Williams.
I am Crawdaddy, your Get Slammed podcast champion.
And I am Healy, your 0-time champion, soon to be 1-time, and that's the only time I'll need. So get ready.
Keep telling yourself that.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
Never
telling
have you sleep in it.
and our precious viewers.
Again,
Viewers.
like us, follow
It's an
us.
audio show.
Again, like us, share us, follow us, do whatever you can to help Get Slammed grow. And we will see you next time.